Good fellow travelers, Mark here with Wolters World, and today we're in Savannah, Georgia, one of the most popular places to visit in the US. And anytime you have a popular tourist destination, you know some tourist traps are gonna follow. And so today what I have for you are some of the tourist traps you might find here in Savannah. And just like any tourist trap, some tourist traps are still worth going to see and do and experience, but it's a good idea to know what you're getting into before you go. And I think one of the biggest tourist traps that's really blossomed over the last 10 years here in Savannah are the ghost tours. Now, there are some really good ghost tours here. I'm not gonna say all of them are tourist traps, but I do find it funny is as people saw that ghosts made money, Savannah got a lot more haunted. Like, you know, some places have it rated as the most haunted city in America. So for ghost tour peoples, it's great. I mean, they love the Travel Channel here because all it does is talk about ghost stuff. So you have so many more ghost tours that are here, but some of them really are a tourist trap. So do make sure you read the reviews online for each of the different ghost tours to find which one's right for you, because you want to get one that has a lot more history versus the ghost detector kind of people, because those are kind of really tourist trappy, okay? Now, another thing you have to realize is since we're a tourist city, you do have some of the tourist trappy kind of stuff. Like the locals go back and forth with the pedicabs. They can be fun and easy, but I gotta tell you, for me, they're kind of a tourist trap because Savannah's flat, except getting down to River Street. So you can walk everywhere, go see the squares, go to Forsyth Park, see the historic homes like the Mercer William House behind me. You can walk around and do that. You don't need to do the pedicabs when you're here, so that can be kind of a tourist trap. You can take these trolley buses. These aren't a tourist trap. Going on a trolley bus tour to get a lay of the land is actually a good thing to do when you're here. But the pedicabs, I'm not sure. Another thing that, of course, whenever you have a fun city like Savannah, you do have the other party kind of things, like whether it's the pub crawl tours, or I think the ones the locals would say are the biggest tourist trap are the bike bar tours kind of things. That's also another tourist trap because honestly, you have so many bars here in town that you can go enjoy and drink at that you don't need to sit on a bicycle and do it. So those are a couple of things. Another thing I think locals would tell you is always a tourist trap, but one that's worth getting trapped in is going out to Tybee Island. Whether you're getting your adult slushies at Tybee time or getting the over-the-top t-shirts and kind of stuff, yeah, it's a tourist trap, but it's fun to go to the beach out there, okay? And I think kind of going along with that t-shirt kind of theme, another tourist trap I like to talk about is actually City Market. And what City Market is, it's like a block or two of pedestrian street that has shops, restaurants, bars on it, you know, and some of the restaurants are fine, but overall, you just get very much a tourist trappy kind of vibe when you go there. So that's one thing I would say to watch out for, because anytime you see a place that has a blanket t-shirt that just says Savannah in big block letters, yeah, it's probably a tourist trap kind of thing. And kind of going along from City Market, if you go down to River Street. Now, River Street does have a couple really good restaurants. Olympia is really nice. But in general, I'd like to tell you, River Street really is kind of a tourist trap with the shops and bars and restaurants that are down there. Now, I'm not saying don't go on it, because it is worth going down, taking the boat and going around on the riverboat cruise is fun. But just realize what you're doing when you're going down to River Street, okay? It's not the super historic stuff. This is where you go and see the squares to see those beautiful buildings. When you go down to River Street, yes, you're getting your candies when you're down there, and you're getting your tourist shirts and stuff. So you have that, and yes, get your tall boy beer when you're down there. You can do that, but just know River Street can be kind of a tourist trap, especially if you're looking at restaurants in the evening time, because there's so many great restaurants all around town, from Cotton Rye, 45 Bistro. You got a lot of options when you're here, so don't limit yourself to River Street, because I feel that's the thing that a lot of the blogs and vlogs have really focused to get people to go down there, when really it's more of a touristy, trappy place that locals probably aren't going to be going to as much as a tourist do. So, hence making it a tourist trap. And speaking of eating, I think you have to realize there are some establishments here that, because of their success, have kind of become a tourist trap. For example, Paula Deen's place. I mean, they had so many people going there and the lines were so long, it was really not possible to maintain the quality of food like they had before, just because of scale, right? I mean, the food's still fine, but it got to be the point where it was like, man, that's too much of a tourist trap. Let's try other places. That's why you have places like Mrs. Wilkes, which became very popular, which locals love. And now that's kind of almost a touristy kind of spot as well. But if you're going around, just realize you have a lot of food options. Don't just go to the places that show up on TripAdvisor's top 5 or top 10 restaurants in Savannah, because that's based on number of people that go there. And to get those kind of numbers, you're gonna have to get the tourists going there, not so much the locals. So eat out more than just the tourist spots. Like Moon River Brewery, it's good for a beer, but don't eat there. Just drink there because their beer's good. And move away to some of the other restaurants around town, okay? And one of the saddest tourist traps, and I hate having to say this to people, is going to Leopold's Ice Cream on Broughton. Look, Leopold's Ice Cream, it's fine. I mean, I love their hot cocoa ice cream. I gotta give them that. Savannah Socialite's also good, but it really is a tourist trap, especially on some of those really hot, muggy days. You know, June, July, August, September, April, maybe a day in March. Like, and you'll see people lined up outside, no protection from the heat, no protection from the sun, just melting away, waiting to get their ice cream. And it really is a tourist trap, because one, if you're flying in, there's a kiosk in like through, and you go through security, they have it there. And when you're out of security, they have one there. So you can get your Leopold's ice cream at the airport, but honestly, that line just makes it a tourist trap. You're like, oh, I have to get in this line to go there because it's so beautiful and wonderful and the ice cream will be so good. You'll talk to locals, they'll say it's not all that, but I mean, I find it okay, but I'm not going to wait in line for it. So that's where it's become kind of a tourist trap. But you can always get your picture, and if there is no line, then yes, go in and grab some, because I'm sure I will if there's no line, but I'm here during a film festival, so I'm going to guess that line will be long, so I will not be having Leopold's on Broughton. I already had it at the airport yesterday, so I'm ahead of the game. But anyway, I just want to give you some of the fun tourist traps that are here in Savannah. There are more. That's why I put it in the comment section below if you have other tourist traps here in Savannah. But honestly, this is a really fun town to go to. And all the things I mentioned here, you can still do and have a great time. So it's not a bad thing. And that's one thing I think with tourist traps, sometimes it gets a bad connotation that you shouldn't do it. The thing is, if you realize what you're getting into when you go to a tourist trap, it's okay. If you're getting one of those silly ghost tours that's totally a tourist trap, have fun with it. If you're gonna go to Paula Dean's place, I mean, enjoy the food, it's there. Maybe you'll see Paula walking around or one of her sons, I don't know, but you could enjoy your time with them as well. So, what are those other tourist traps you've seen here in Savannah or other places around the world? Put in the comment section below so we can help other travelers know what to look for or look out for when they travel. And I'll say bye from here in Savannah.